Hello, gentle viewers. This is Guardian, welcoming you back to Out of the Park Baseball 24 with the Prague Metropolitans. We just finished concluding our third World Series title. Third or fourth? Fourth. Um, by utterly destroying Stockholm in Game 6 of the World Series. Now it's time to see if we can do it again. I do want to thank everybody. Several people had a lot to say about whether I should keep going with this or whether it's kind of run its course. Um, I think for sure we're going to give it another 5 episodes because I want to get us up to 20 seasons and see where we're at. But we'll probably think about moving on to something new at that point. I know I said I was going to try to do it till the end of the year, but we've already won 4 World Series. And yes, we don't have a Hall of Famer yet, but I don't know if I'm prepared to play the game for like 30 years just to get that Hall of Famer. As far as what's going to come next, I'm actually not sure. So I will be interested in taking your suggestions if you have any in the comments. Of course, I'll think about them myself. I do want to do a short KBO series at some point, just for something different, especially the ability to bring in major leaguers. I think that offers a neat little twist. So that might actually be what we do. We might actually go with a KBO series for a while and see how that works out. However, that'll be for next. That'll be for the next Monday series, which I don't think will start until a little bit later on this year. What about for new? Well, we're gonna try to defend our world title, obviously. Maybe we can three-peat, or actually, let's just repeat it. We're on quite a run though. That's in 4 consecutive years, giving me the plus every year. And we've been to the World Series 3 of those times, which is obviously quite nice. Before we go any farther, though, let's go ahead and get our coaching situation straightened out. So, we cannot hire a first base coach. Oh, no, I can. Excellent. I'd forgotten that I actually do have that ability. So I think we'll probably promote Leonard Jacobson. He's actually not that great a hitting coach, but I think he'd be a fine choice as a first base coach. So here we go. Torajani can stay where he is, but I wouldn't mind getting a top quality hitting coach like Mr. Sulo Kirvisniemi. Sure, we'll go with that. And then let's go ahead and grab ourselves a pitching coach and hitting coach for single A. A little bit of the Sippo Sip, I suppose. And we'll grab Claudio here, I suppose. Claudio. There we go. Next, arbitration. Our arbitration demands aren't that crazy, but I still think we do have some decisions to make in order to make sure this team is the best it can be. Step 1, say goodbye to Oliver Mickelson. I don't think he's all that good. Bobby Gutierrez has actually been pretty solid for us for a couple years in a row. I think it's more than acceptable to bring him back for a new season. A new season of baseballing. There we go. Yves Picard hasn't really found himself yet. And there's obviously still a chance that he'll get better. And so I think 1 more year for him is completely reasonable. I think it's a fun decision, and I think it'll be decent. There we go. Really, fucker? got your progress right here. What about pure zinc? Mr. Zinc wants a semi-substantial raise, and he's already somewhat fragile. I'm beginning to think keeping him isn't the best use of our resources. So I think we're going to go ahead and let him walk. Same thing for Helmut Schimpf. I think What's-His-Face is a better choice anyway to be our backup catcher. Where's the other guy? Eidman. I think Eidman is going to make us a fun backup catcher. I really want to keep Pablo Gonzalez and Adric Oitzer. So let's go ahead and get them taken care of real fast. I wouldn't mind keeping either one of them long term, but staying practical here, it may not be possible. We'll see though. I'd love to keep Oitzer long term if we can make it happen because he can handle both positions quite well. But it is fair to ask whether we expect him to be this good at hitting. So I think maybe one more year at a reasonable salary is sensible. Let's do it. Although he doesn't want that big a salary. I don't hate this. I'd like one more team option, but other than that, I think I can live with this. I think it's a decent choice. So yes, we will try to lock up Oitzer. I think that's pretty reasonable. Drods is fine, but I don't think he deserves that big a raise. Campbell, definitely want to keep him around. Don't be a fucking weirdo, dude. You're not getting $1 million 1 year out from your first full season. Malherbe's interesting. My biggest concern with Malherbe is the fact that he is injured quite frequently. But I also don't really have a reliable center fielder yet. I have several that are in the pipeline, but I don't think any of them are anywhere near where they need to be making the big leagues. Alan Kalan, I'm always going to call him that, by the way, isn't far away. So I think a 1 year deal for our good old chum, Mr. Malherbe, is reasonable. But I'm definitely not signing him long term. I don't think that suits our team at all. Really, fucker? Like, quit being like this, okay? Don't fucking nickel and dime me, or I will just trade you right now. Now, Duclaw is interesting. Part of me doesn't think he's worth it. Because, yes, he does two things very well. He hits home runs and he draws walks. There's nothing wrong with those two things. Those two things are, in fact, very good. Oh, but with such a low contact rate, I am somewhat concerned about his staying power. I think a relative pittance is a reasonable sum to pay. But I'm absolutely not going to spend a bunch of money on it. So these are our offers. I don't think we're going to get a trade deal for any of them. Maybe Zinc. Let's try to at least trade Zinc. Okay. Well, I'm not surprised. And none of the rest of you guys are good enough. Schimpf might be, actually. I could see somebody deciding that they really need a good defensive catcher and being willing to pay something reasonable for it. Like Sean Fallone here. I like you a lot, actually. You're a very well-rounded first baseman, and I think you'd be a fine addition to our club. Done. Easy choice. Easy. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Alright, friends. Now let's take a quick peek at the owner's goals and see what he wants us to do. Wants us to earn $6.5 million. That's not gonna happen, my fucker. You can just shut the hell up about it. The rest of this seems somewhat achievable. Our attendance was drastically down last year, but I'm hopeful that a World Series title will convince people, wait a minute, maybe we should keep him around. Which will be nice. But yeah, I'm not going to be able to make a big profit because that would involve me trading away players that are actually good. And I don't know who we could actually trade and come up with any kind of decent return for. So yeah, y'all can suck it, is my response. I mean, I could, if I really wanted to, like, reduce the scouting budget. And the player development budget. Oh, you're going to be pissy with me, aren't you? How high over budget am I? We are projected to make a profit. It's not a very big profit. Yeah, that's the issue right there. We're actually projected to make a loss of about 600 grand. So, with that being said, I don't want to cut any of these budgets. Look, we're right at the baseline for most of them. I think maybe just waiting until free agents announce and then seeing how much money we actually have left is a better choice. I think that's fair. Sippo, my guy, fine. We got Great Globes for Eisner and Pancakes, which is fantastic. You'd love to see it. Sippo wants more money. What if I gave you $15,000? In real money, not like issuing scratchy lane fun bucks. Mr. Burkees, you want to be their hitting coach? I'd like to keep you. How about an extension? There we go. Done. Platinum sticks for Sebastian Duclaw is the only person who ended up getting a platinum stick this year, which is fine, I suppose. People signing contracts. We got Oitzer locked up, which means our middle infield is now quite strong, which I'm very happy about. Vidi Hippie indeed. You listen here, you little shit. Fine. Manager of the Year. No Pitcher of the Year, but what about MVP? I got Sulo, that's good. And no MVP either. This angers my blood. Fucking Harry Botch won it, and none of my players even made it in the top 5. Man, just because you got a Harry back doesn't mean you have to fucking brag about it. Looks like a pretty good hitter, though. Did I have any chance of getting Pitcher of the Year? Not really. Amakapane finished 4th, which isn't terrible, but also isn't great. That's fine. We're gonna zip on up to Hall of Fame voting. I'll offer you an extension. Sure. Bratislava and Budapest have returned, and Amsterdam and Lisbon have been sentenced to a fate worse than death. Lewis Johnston quite clearly deserves Hall of Fame position, as does Rashid Lafranc. The kids really like them some Orsino Moroni for some reason, but I do think these two are probably the best fit. So I'm going to vote for them both. Let's fucking go. Alright. We're not earning money, which is lovely. I am not over fucking budget. Quit being weird, game. Am I? We're on pace to make 3 million, my guy. What if I just type 3 million again? Will that, like, reset you? I will never understand how this works sometimes, guys. I truly don't. I don't understand what'll randomly claim that, oh, you're over budget. I don't think we are over budget. I think your face is over budget. For being stupid. I generally don't see us being over budget. I don't think we're going to get involved in free agency, though. I just don't think it's sensible. We are going to need some more relievers, for sure. We are actually going to need more pitchers, period. But we do have some of those that are already available in our system that we can call up. I think LeHay, Larson, and Fallon all seem like pretty high chances to make the roster. I'm going to trade Alvaro Procana, not because I think he's amazing, but the opposite. And I think we could probably get ourselves a decent player for him. I mean, I'm getting really decent offers, you guys. I like Jiznev here quite a bit, if not for his unfortunate name. Wow, the kids love them some Procana, don't they? Zam. Alright. I did not anticipate this. I did not anticipate how desperate people would be for a shortstop who can't play shortstop. I mean, he's a fine third baseman, I suppose. There's nothing wrong with that, but... I frankly don't know why you're so highly rated, Mr. Klingspole. I don't know that that really does it for me. Meh. 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 I do like Foray here. I actually like him quite a lot. I wonder if I could get Foray in one of these pitchers. Let's ask for probably Schultz. He's got a nice mix of pitches, throws decently hard. I know that Clark actually has a little more upside. For sure. Oh, maybe I will go for him instead. And I'm going to try to get Schultz in 4A. No, I like Enos Bassar way too much. And I'm not giving up any of my elite players for this. Wonder if I could get Schultz and Clark. To offer you Othenreich Kraus. I think I'm happy to do that. Wait a minute. I wanted Clark. You sneaky shits. Is anyone else on the Rule 5 list? Like, I will happily give you a handful of people. If it means getting 2 fairly good pitchers. We can also promote Landauer to the big leagues if we have to. Wow, that makes it worse. If I can only get one, I'll just take Schultz. If I wanted Schultz and Foray, I have to give up Bassar Jr. What if I did offer you Kraus? Then I can basically give you any one of a number of middling prospects and make this deal happen. I do like Andrich quite a lot. But I need as many pitching prospects as I can get. I would give you Chashnikov. I think that's fair. No, Andrich is just worse. Andrich can't play center, which reduces his value significantly. Let me ask if I can get Clark, too. Okay. I tried. I'm going to complete the trade. I think that feels fairly good. And then let's start adding people to the roster. So Landauer and Sheffer. Where's my new guy? Because I definitely think that Mr. Schultz is going to go right to the big leagues. Maybe he won't. Do we try to get a cheap pitcher? Because, like, Greshek might be ready for opening day. That would fix one of our biggest issues, which is that we don't have a very deep rotation. I mean, Picard being a starter is frankly kind of silly. Kind of real silly. We could probably grab a couple of pitchers in the Rule 5 draft, too, if we don't want to spend too much money. I think I'm on board with that. Is there anything else I want to do this offseason? And, like, that's kind of the ultimate question. Is there anything that I can do to make our team better? Our infield is locked up for years to come with Eisner, Oitzer, and Becker. It's very German outfield, but Oitzer is actually... Oh, Oitzer and Eisner are both Ukrainian. There we go. I do think we're not going to be able to afford to keep Pablo Gonzalez for too much longer, so that's going to be a question we have to answer in the near future. But at the end of the day, I genuinely don't think we're going to get involved in free agency this year. I think we're going to try to focus on the Rule 5 draft and potentially promoting from within. And I think that's going to make us a better team. I'm going to keep Theo Gallagher because I like his ability to play all the infield positions, and I think he's perfectly fine for that. Let's go ahead now and advance time. Like, I'm not even getting involved in free agency this year. I will activate Grishik. Thank you for asking. Yes. I'd rather save the money to spend on either the draft or on international free agents rather than spending it on nonsense. All right. Are there interesting players in the Rule 5 draft this year? We lost Gene Lindsay. Gene Lindsay was actually a fairly decent catcher. I maybe should have kept him. But I think I'm happy with our young guns there. I've got to be honest with you guys. Ricardo Cabrera seems like a pretty solid choice. I know he's not perfect, but he is pretty solid. And it seems like they just buried him in Double A. So I think we'll go ahead and have Mr. Cabrera here. Welcome. Why can I not choose you? My 38-man roster is full. What? Hey, Kaitani. I will keep you around, actually. Blagojevich, not so much, though. There you go. Now I can draft him. And I don't think I want anything else. No, I don't think so. I mean, Alberto Cortez isn't bad. Like, he's actually somewhat talented. Let's first figure out who we'll get rid of Capitan. I doubt anyone's gonna take him. And I will go ahead and claim, Martin, too. Not Martin, Cortez. Why did I say Martin? Oh, that's right, because I don't know what I'm talking about. Interesting. The fans love Cortez, the players don't. Like, how much is this going to fuck with team chemistry? Interesting. Cortez is kind of a jackass. Then you know what? It's going to be the shortest tenure in history. I'm not going to take around a middling pitcher if he's a dick. Get fucked, nerd. Oh, right. I'm just going to go ahead and... Oh, that's funny. They instantly took Cortez after I let him go. Oh, no, I chose him and then I released him. Well, that's alright. Sorry, friends. Yeah. You both can go to the minors. I don't really care where you go. Now, the Butcher's bill is going to be coming due very rapidly. And there's not a huge amount that I can do about that. Because I'm not going to be able to afford to keep these guys forever. At some point, somebody's going to have to go in order to save us money. I'm a little concerned by how few season tickets you sold. Like, we just won the World Series, guys. We just won the World Series. Have some fucking faith. Shipbirds. Right. Scouting. Run practice. I'd love to get Pablo Castro. I think Pablo Castro is probably the #1 player I want in the international draft. If I can get him. I may not be able to. Nobody made the Hall of Fame this year, which is sad. It's big sad time. Pablo, I'm going to be real with you. I would like you to be my player. Here's $1 million. And we got him. A rule change is announced. 4 years for free agency. Oh my god. Wow. Okay. That's annoying. That's really annoying. Huh. I am not over budget. Oh my god. Stop lying. I guess that's projected. We're gonna lose $1 million. Maybe that's what they mean. Is there like a mid-tier player that we could trade? That's earning a fair bit of coin. Of casharoo. Like, really comes down to trading 1 and 2 players, right? Like, it's either going to be trading Malherbe or Gonzalez to save cash. Gonzalez has been so good for us over the past 4 years. But I don't think I can keep him. And I don't want to tank our scouting during the season, but maybe that's just the price we have to pay. Yeah, that's all we're going to have to do here. I'm going to try to go to exactly the league minimum, or the baseline, and see if that gets us out of this. Because I really don't want it to be half the league baseline. Like, that's far worse than league baseline, right? And then I will go to exactly 1915.5.1915.030. There you go. That actually gets us where we need to get. And frees up a tiny bit of cash in case you wanted to pursue a free agent. But here's a big issue, right? Like, we're not going to be able to keep Gonzalez. Or Malherbe, genuinely speaking. And everyone starting on arbitration earlier is also going to suck a lot. I guess the good news is it affects all the teams equally. But it really does cause concerns for me. But we'll see what happens, I guess. Let's go to spring training, please. Player development, Picard, Jung, and Pablo Castro all got better. I mean, Pablo Castro is a big fucking dude. I didn't think he was going to stay at such a low velocity. That seemed pretty unlikely to me. You know, I forgot that Bonet was going to be a free agent. That's on me. And he did sign for, like, a pittance, so that's a whoopsie. That is a whoopsie. And we weren't going to keep a Kelkin either. That was kind of a no-brainer. Reinhard Brown is slipping already. I think we trade him now. Not only does it free up money that we can use to sign other players, but he's only going to get worse. I don't even care what I get for him. I just want him not on my team anymore. I think Edwin Rios is being sold short a little bit if he turned into a reliever. Maxim Chaton seems fairly decent. I don't mind Rousseau though. I actually think Rousseau could be a decent choice too. I wonder if we could get like Rousseau and say Weber. Nah, I don't think so. I don't want Weber that badly that I'm gonna cough up a decent player for him. Nah, I'll just do this. It saves us a whole bunch of money. And then we can turn around and spend some of that money to try to get ourselves a veteran starting pitcher that won't cost us as much money. I think that's very smart and a good idea. Evan Gallagher. I remember you. We used to be bros, guys. And then I traded you for Duclaw and some other good shit. And I'll offer Gallagher a contract. And I will also offer Heim a contract. Now the question is, am I willing to open up the pocketbook for Pablo Gonzalez? How much money does he want? He wants a lot. That's a big no for me, dog. I'm not going to spend that much money on a first baseman. That's just patently absurd. Oh, what about Malherbe? Malherbe we could potentially keep. We'll see what happens with him, though. Who else should be given opportunities in spring training? I think you should. You should. Kaitani. Akimoto. Mladic. Capitan. Masari. Loflinger's Schultz. Thomas Lawson. Mr. Colan here needs a little more time in the minors before I would give him a serious chance. But I'm gonna go ahead and let him get some reps here in spring training. I think that's perfectly fine and a good use of our resources. Schmelvitsky should almost certainly get called up too. And I think that's fine. I think this is a good start to sorting out who's going to play where this season. So let's go ahead and be about it. I keep picking up my can of pop, which is empty. It's been empty for the past 2 hours, and yet I keep convincing myself that there's something in it. I guess something deeply wrong with me. See you later, Hjorth. No, I'm not going to put him on the IL. I will designate him for a sign before I'll put him on the IL. There you go. Let's go ahead and immediately put Heim and Gallagher. Let's add them to the spring training roster. I think that would be good. Where did Mr. Heim go? Vertichuko. Ivlajutu. Oh, you're hurt. That's right. You are Injury McInjured Pants. Any changes here? Bobby Gutierrez throwing harder is nice. Overkirk getting even better is frankly silly. Sung-Ho Park is probably going to get some consideration to be a starter in the near future here, because Lord knows I need as many pictures as I can get. Other than nothing too impressive here. Where am I picking? I am probably going to be picking dead last since I just won the World Series. I don't know why I was asking. That was a silly question. The silliest of questions. Alright. I got 38 players. Only 5 pitchers? No. 18 pitchers. So they're going to get getting rid of at least 6 of them. So who are the 6 worst pitchers on this roster? Gallagher is definitely one of them. Dahlgren can go to A-ball. Larson to the minors. Scheffler to the minors. What does that put me at? 14. I gotta go to 2 more pitchers. Kaitani to the minors. And... oh, Vanderwall's starting right now, so I can't get rid of him. I want to see how you set this up, and then I will decide who goes to the minors. Probably Schultz. I think letting Schultz pitch in Double-A is fairly sensible. It gets us down to 12 pitchers, which I think is a good number for only 25 players. I'm not carrying 3 catchers. See you later, Akimoto. I'm not going to keep Fallon. That just seems silly. Probably Mladic to the minors. Capitan. He, in fact, does not have to be on the 38-man or the 40-man roster. No, it's 38-man, isn't it? No. Somebody else wants him, they can have him. Let's challenge Colan and put him in Double-A this year. And so the benefit of having him is giving us a really good outfielder in case Malherbe gets hurt again. Washchinsky is definitely the better hitter, and he is a captain, right? Like, we kind of need his leadership. So I think we had to send down Schmelvisky for now. Schmilevsky, there we go. I feel pretty good about this. I think we're going to be a pretty decent team this year. I am concerned about Ricardo Cabrera's ability to actually start. Like, I don't think he's going to have an amazing time with this, but we'll see what happens. If we could get anything out of this roster, it would probably be at least one starting pitcher that had a bit of veteran experience that we could count on. But I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think there is any such pitcher available. I can check the trading block, I suppose. Like, I can add some salary. It is possible. I'll just trade for this guy. I'm joking. I could never afford him. All pitchers. I mean, I would go apeshit if we could get him. I'd be very excited, in fact. I think he's a fantastic pitcher. And plus he's Czech. He'd be coming home. Can we make this work? I can easily make this work. Not easily, but I can make it work. Let's begin by offering you. Shoshnikov. How do you rate that? Let's just try to offer just Shoshnikov and see what that does. Almost. I mean, if you want a reliever that badly, I will give you a reliever. I don't even care. You can have Bobby Gutierrez. Yeah, I'm really pumped to get Durac. I think he's going to be phenomenal and make us a better team. Without question. So the next question then becomes, do I now have 2 in pitchers? I think I do. I think I have... No, I only have 12. And then we can do one of these. Mr. Durac, I would love to talk to you right now about keeping you. I was trying to get you for less money, though, is the thing. What if I do a 4-year deal with a couple of team options? I don't know that you kids enjoy the opt-out if relegated thing, and then we'll just cut next year's salary a bit. Just so I can afford you. How does that grab you? Great. Let's go ahead and advance to opening day. Oh, not yet. I gotta make sure that the youngsters have been added to the 38-man roster if they aren't already. No, we're all here. Cool. Cool. I quite frankly don't know what I have to do to make you happy. Given the fact I just won the fucking World Series and I won it 2 out of 3 years, I think you're being weird. But okay. We do keep Durac, and then of course Malherbe is instantly has his kneecap broken. I bet Detroit Lions head coach Dan Campbell ate it. I bet that's what happened. Shmolevsky, I wasn't planning on pushing you into the deep end yet, but here we are. Go you. Who is designated for assignment? Mr. Capitan. There we go. I basically got a better version of Reinhard Brown that's younger and for less money. That's what all that turned out to be, which is very exciting. Yuri Eidman is improving, as is Comrade Landauer, and Grishik just took a giant step forward, which is amazing. Yeah. I don't know who this guy is, so I don't really care that he's using velocity. Of course, Durac being a dipshit and getting worse is fantastic. I love it. No way it's the opposite of that. I need to stop giving people raises before I know what they can actually do. I need to be a bit more conservative in that regard. Anyway. You want a new contract, my bro. I get it, but I don't have one for you. I cannot afford a first base who wants $4 million. That's too much money. That's way too much money. Now if Makapane opts out, great, we'll talk. But if he doesn't, then that money's going to have to go to other players, who I need to keep a little bit more than I need to keep you. So sorry about your luck, bro. But it is what it is. Our offense is looking mighty fine. Pretty happy about the offense. The pitching is great. Our closer kind of sucks. I don't know what Jung's deal is. I mean, he could walk fewer people, but honestly, I don't mind as long as he figures this shit out. He's got 16 saves and 19 chances, so I guess I can't be too alarmed. I gotta see more from Duclaw, though. Or he's gonna have to get replaced. Like, if I'm not gonna keep Gonzalez, and I don't think that I can, then Duclaw's gonna start playing a lot better. But we will see how things work out. Pancake's just doing hashtag pancake things, which is great. I love it. Pancakes has a pretty solid chance to be our Hall of Famer, potentially. But I'm not going to fuck with anything. We're just going to keep on going and try to make some quality draft picks. Not Fedor Brown. Oh, that's what happened. You did not sign with me because I couldn't afford you. I was going to say, look, you tried to be a really damn good pitcher, but not so much. Not so much. First player draft. All players. This is a very mid-draft. Like, there's only a few really great talents here, and none of them are going to fall to me at picking 16th. I don't think that's going to happen. So, we do get a selection of some fairly good players, but none of them seem to be truly outstanding. Alright. Let's start with Emile Couturier. Decent hitter, but with a rag arm like this, he's never going to stick at second base. I don't really feel like taking a player with a first round pick that's already like very limited. Foray's a little bit better. He's not a center fielder, but he's definitely a corner outfielder. And he's got a pretty diverse offensive track record. Guillaume Man is fine. Martinez is fine. And Don't Call Me David Petraeus is fine. I think Foray is the best choice, though. Because he actually has one elite tool. His ability for contact. And because he's a fairly decent defender, too, I think he's got a decent chance to make a pretty good impact. So we're going to go ahead and grab him. Done. David Sikora. I do love my high discipline middle infielders, it's true. But I don't think he's a good fit. Morrow's actually pretty decent. I think Morrow would be a reasonable choice. But we're already picking 50, so I might as well pick the best 50, right? Who has the most power potential left in this draft? It's Petraeus. And it's not close. I do think we'll take Petraeus then. Done. Darn. I like the idea of Chris Farrell if he works out, so I think we'll give him a shot. I think we'll do it. Who is the best strikeout machine left in this draft? It's Victor Cortez. Here's my problem with Cortez, though. A, he's fragile. And B, he's already 22. I don't think he's going to get much better, so I think that's a hard pass. Robin Bjorn, on the other hand, is equally not very good. Gianpietro Infusino. Only 2 pitches, but his pitches seem like they're pretty decent. So that might be our pick here. Yeah, let's do it. It's not exactly terribly thrilling, but it's what we have. Who is left that is at least mildly intriguing? Aka Kajosevic is actually really talented. I know his arm isn't the hardest, but he's also a lefty, which means as long as he can pitch with any level of talent, I think he could be really helpful. And then I'm just going to let my scouting director pick the rest of this draft. It's not a very exciting draft, to be honest with you, especially when we're picking so low in it. I do feel pretty good about Foray. I think he's got a pretty good chance of being a decent corner outfielder, which is pretty solid. I think Petraeus has some potential, even though he is kind of dumb. But still, how smart do you have to be to swing that hard? One might ask. But this is just not a great draft. I don't think there's any way to sugarcoat it. I'm going to sign everybody just for the sake because I have the extra cash and I would like to have as many players as possible. So it'll help fill out the back end of the minors. And there's always a chance, right? Like, there's always a chance one of these guys hits the minor leagues and figures something out and becomes, like, an elite super player. It's not a very high likelihood, but it is a likelihood. It is a non-zero chance. Non-zero. There you go. It's easier to sign your entire draft when the draft is really bad. We'll see what happens though. The thing is, a reckoning is coming. In the next 2 to 3 seasons, especially with the free agency changes, we're not going to be able to afford this team. We're going to start getting rid of people, which is going to be pretty gross. So all we can do is just keep drafting quality youngsters and developing them and making them into the best versions that we can make. That's all we can really do. Mr. Colan, I need you to get even better. I need you to be the center fieldingest center fielder that ever center fielded. Alright, we have cooled off a little bit. Duclaw is becoming an issue. Game. I don't know why you're like this. This is deeply problematic. If you're not going to be, like, cranking homers at a ridiculous rate, you're just not worth keeping in the lineup. I'm sorry, but a guy like Harley Martin is just as good. Because at least Harley fucking Martin can hit for some contact. But he is the best power hitter on the team, though, is the other consideration. So I guess... What is your BABIP, my guy? Your BABIP isn't far off from what it was last year, which is what's really concerning. I think maybe giving him to the trade deadline to figure out his shit is probably suitable. But that's about it. How long is Vanderwall out? We don't know yet. This may be Schultz's time to shine. We'll see how long What's-His-Face is out. Let us advance forward in time, my amigos, my comrades. Wow, okay. That didn't take long. Lurk Vanderwall fucking dies. The end. Like, that's literally what happened there. What did you, like, you damaged your elbow, so you're probably getting Tommy John surgery. Everyone says that's the last thing I want to hear. I think the last thing I want to hear is there's space weasels in my ears. Okay. So here's the question. This is a very important question. Let me assign all the minor league coaches first, so I don't have to fuck with people. I do think Harris done a pretty solid job. I'd like to keep him around if he'd like to stay. Marae, I'm not going to lie, kind of blows. But, oh my gosh, I never got a pitching coach or hitting coach. No, I thought both of them signed with me. That's awkward. I should probably fix that. I'm gonna re-sign. I'm gonna promote both the Knight and Ardiolani. Or Ardiolanu, sorry. And then who else leaves in 2038? Maras can walk, as could Grokkinen, and I think we could do better than either one of them. Pitching coach. You are a hitting coach. But I will still hire you, Jackie Robert, because you seem like a good egg. I will select Vladislav Hudale if he is willing to sign with us. There you go. So the big league coaches. This is more difficult. I do want to keep Leonard Jacobson. I think he's done a fine job early on here. I think we can give him a new deal. So, here's the thing. It comes down to, do I want to keep Villa? And golly, he's been incredible, right? Like, he's won 2 World Series. He has won Manager of the Year 3 of the last 4 years. Sorry, 3 of the last 5 years. Because this year doesn't count yet. I think we have to keep him. And then we'll see. Hopefully he makes the right move and keeps Steger and Amore. Both of whom I think have been fantastic, but he might be a jerk about it, so we'll have to see. We're going to run up to All-Star game time. Robert signs. The Metropolitans are the best team in the league, or at least the hottest team so far. Excellent. Pancakes gets 5 hits, 2 of them doubles. That's good stuff. That is very good stuff. Duclaw gonna miss 5 days. Pobs here wants to be re-signed. I've enjoyed having you, but I can't afford you. It's as simple as that. I cannot afford you. Sorry, mate. Damn. Amakapane is now the all-time leader in wins in this league. That's amazing. I mean, hell, this guy's probably our all-star, right? Or our Hall of Famer. Do I have this stupid thing where they gotta wait 5 years? Or do I have it set where they are eligible as soon as they retire? We're gonna do Roulace. League and teams? Or is it players and team? No. Yes. No. The Parrot. Blah 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 blah. What's under players here? Maybe no. Options. Yes. There we go. Beautiful. Beautiful. Who among the mighty Metropolitans have earned an all-star spot? Mr. Yonku, Mr. Vilofsky, Mr. Jung, Yuri Eidman, and Horst von Uhrkirk. Both of my catchers made it, which is great. Pancakes, Oitzer, Gunter, and Campbell all made it. Sadly, not Eisner. But then I have so many all-stars that it's probably just some point that, like, someone else has to get it. I think I was actually having a pretty good year. He's having a pretty good year. I can't complain. He's playing league average offense with above average defense. And he's already got 6 gold gloves, my guys. I'm happy with that. That's about what you want from a quality second baseman. Bassar, Girard, Kamara, Farah. Yeah, that was terrible. I like Kalan making it though, and it looks like he's having a very fine year in AA, which is going to make him even easier to call up when we trade Malherbe, or lose Malherbe rather. No, I don't think so. I do not think so in the least. I'm going to go ahead and instantly set you to untouchable. I will absolutely trade Eidman eventually, but I want to do it for what I want, not for what they want. Alright, trading deadline. Pablo Gonzalez is the obvious choice, right? Like, if we can trade him and get a good player in return, I think that's going to really help out our team. And I've got enough, like, first basemen in the minors that, like, Harley Martin could fill in and be, like, 80% of Pablo Gonzalez for, like, 1% of his money. So I guess what we're going to do, we're going to try to trade Pablo Gonzalez and see what might be acquired for him. I mean, Tom Goldman is pretty fucking phenomenal, but I'm concerned about his lack of control. I do think it's going to hold him back. I'm going to be an awesome sauce guy. I'm going to eat his entire salary if that changes the players that get available to me. As second-tier outfielders go, Alex Perez has a lot to recommend him. Maybe I do take Perez. Maybe I do want to be a French fry. Apparently Burger King lives in my head rent-free. I like Maier here quite a bit. Okay, what if I can get Seleznev and Mayer? If I could get both, I would be quite pleased. I think he's already on their big roster. There you are. Really? I'm getting 2 legit players for... I mean, maybe I should ask for more. Like Gareth Hall. Okay, that's what breaks you, is adding in Hall. This is a really good deal, though. Like, we're getting a top-tier reliever and a pretty damn good outfielder. I think this is brilliant. Let's do it. I'm sorry that the fans are sad about Pablo Gonzalez being gone, but they're gonna have to get over it. So who goes from our pitching staff? It's got to be Cabrera, right? Like, Cabrera barely pitches, but I don't mind keeping him. I mean, I guess we could send Schultz back down, let him pitch some more, and Odry, and call up Seleznev and Mayer. And then you guys can figure out where you want players to play. Like, to be perfectly clear, I did this for a very important reason, which was I wasn't going to be able to keep him anyway. And this not only gets us two fairly good players, but it also gets us a... it also helps us out this season, too. Do we trade Malherbe? I haven't even had Malherbe all year. Like, he has provided nothing of value this entire season. I see no reason why I wouldn't trade him. Like, he does me no good sitting on the bench. So if I can get an interesting player or two, I think it's worth it. I do like Alexienko as a pitcher. I think he's quite nice. And I think we'll go for it. I think that's going to be our deal. I would love for them to give us more too. But I think we'd have to probably ask for either something that's not that great or would have to get really lucky. But Stuart Gordon. Stuart Gordon would actually be a pretty solid first baseman, I think, given the opportunity. Jack Ignachuk is a pretty good name, I think. I think that's a pretty solid choice. Like, I wouldn't mind Gordon if they're willing to give him up, but I think they're probably going to ask for something fairly substantial in return. Or getting fucking Reynolds here. Yeah, Reynolds doesn't move the needle. I could get Gordon, but I had to trade one of my two best players, and that ain't gonna happen. I don't think so. I'm sorry, but I don't think there's any of these players that I value lightly enough to cough them up. Just for a middling first baseman. I think that's a bad choice. What, Davy Brochard? No. That really doesn't make you happy, does it? Guys, I'm just going to make the trade. I mean, I could trade for CN Durham here. Or Dunham, because at least he's got decent power, but I just don't think it's worth fucking around here. So, yeah. Sorry, Malherbe. That's on you, my guy. You decided to be a bad player, and that's where we are now. We decided to be hurt, essentially. But, I mean, we didn't need to address center field, though. Like, this guy isn't all that great either. Does that mean calling up Mr. Collin here, though? I think it might. Let's see if we can't grab a veteran center fielder that we can enjoy, like, a one-year deal with. That might be nice. I mean, I would love to get Tomka, but I know I can't afford him either. Really? But I guess I can't afford him. What about Noah Dahlgren? No, Noah Dahlgren doesn't move the needle for you. What about Larson? People really like Sharonza. Maybe at a certain point I just have to accept the fact that we'd get more from trading him than we would from keeping him. I mean, it's first of all, it's important to realize this is going to be a 1-year rental. That's fine. I don't care. So I don't give too good a prospect of it. So I'm trying to give you a couple of relievers and see if that moves the needle for you. You want a genuinely good prospect for this. If I give up Schronz, I'm going to regret it. I have a fairly strong suspicion that I'm going to regret it. I mean, he is 20 years old and hasn't made a huge amount of progress. But no, he is trending in the wrong direction, isn't he? I think I will trade Sharonza. Not Campbell. Fuck that shit. Yeah, we'll do it. And then Mr. Tomka can be our starting center fielder, and we can get rid of this joker. Yeah, I like how the guy's like, I want $1 billion. And I'm just like, no. I don't think so, Chief. Alright, friends. We're just going to go ahead and end it today. And then we're going to dive into the month of August and keep moving along. I like how Muldoon Campbell just got better across the board. He's going to make me awful expensive. Awful expensive. Okay. I don't really see anything that I need to fuck with right now. Let's go ahead and just keep going on and see what happens. Durak, you fucking suck. I don't know why you have to keep getting worse. That's very lame of you. Very lame indeed. Mr. Colan. Who would we want to call up and give some reps to? I think Sheffer and Larson are both fairly good choices. I don't want to do Kalan yet. I want him to get a full season in the minors. Bassar Jr. is going to have to get some pitching at some point. Because I don't want him to leave without ever having a chance to pitch in the big leagues. That'd make me feel very silly. Very silly indeed. How much longer are you out? 4 weeks? Gross. Let's get Schultz back up instantly. And then I think that's it. I think I'm not going to mess with anybody else for right now. As season progresses, of course, I might consider calling up a couple other people. But for right now, I think I'm happy. I'm happy to see how this all works out. And we've already clinched our division. Nice. Like, we don't know when Basara is coming back. Okay. $2,000 hits for Tomka. Very nice. Grishek gets a shutout. Amazing. It's good shit, pal. The Webble's #1 hitter. How long are you out, Tomka? Do we know yet? We do not know yet. Wyszynski to the minors for sure. Larson and Schultz to the minors. That's our 25-man roster. And we just lost Tomka for the entire season. What a fucking bullshit story. I mean, we could just throw Kalan into the fire, but I don't think it's very smart. Chmielewski isn't the worst choice. Like, he's at least a good defensive center fielder. I think we kind of have to go with him for right now. But it does kind of suck that we're losing our big trade deadline acquisition, but whatever. Oh my gosh, what a shootout there. Uh-oh. Come on, guys. Let's baseball good. Amakapane does well. Torjani is going to retire. Can I grab, like, a great hitting coach and lock him up? That would be fantabulous. Fantabulous Maximus. Nice work, Durock. You may be a bit of a fool. But no, that's all about pancakes, though. That's pancakes, like, slamming homers like it's nothing. Like it ain't no thing. And now the game appears to be frozen. Oh, it's not frozen. What's happening here? Anyway. Let's play into the next playoff round. Goodbye, Yasunobu Nakamoto. How did I even acquire you? Oh, you signed a minor league contract with me. That explains it. That explains it. Until next playoff round, please. Alright. Very oof to start off with. We came back pretty easily, so that's 1-1. We got Fritz Merling, which is actually really good news. Amakapane got lit up, which isn't great. Nobody too thrilling retired. Oh no. Durak got lit up too. Grishik, come on, my guy. Fuck. Wow, we just stopped hitting in the LCS. That's kind of gross. Wow. Like, honestly, wow. I am having a big sad moment. A very big sad moment. That's kind of a real bummer, actually. I mean, I bet if we would have had that center fielder, we would have made it, but alas, that is not an option available to us. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Invite to training. Game, just stop with this bullshit. I don't know why you have to make me do it twice. Invite you again. And then run that practice. And then we're going to end the playoffs and see if Bucharest can take a World Series. They can and did. Congratulations. Maybe we should have like put garlic on our bats or something, or on our pitches. Alas. Amakapane comes back. I can't say I'm too surprised. You're grumpy. Shut the fuck up. And a couple of some players that aren't really that interesting retired. I get a shiny new contract for 3 years. That's good. I don't know why you didn't sign our good quality coaches, but that's all right. We're going to have to move some people around now. Worry about that next episode, though. Let's first talk about what happened this season. First things first. Fucking Pancakes was brilliant this season. The best year of his career. Well, the second best year of his career. Is there anything this guy can't do? 22 triples is not sustainable. That will not happen again. So you very much have to look at the season as it's a fantastic feather in our cap for certain. It ain't gonna happen. He's not gonna do this again. This is 8.5. Oh, I was looking at his base running runs. Yes, we want basic batting stats. His basic bitch batting stats. Overkirk had an incredible season as our catcher. He's going to be expensive to keep, but I think we have to make a point for him. Eisner, Gunter, and Oitzer all had very solid seasons. All of them basically did what they always do, which is good to see. Oitzer, I was concerned wouldn't be able to duplicate his offense success from last year. He was like a tiny bit worse, but it was still pretty solid. And he actually added home runs. So hitting for power is a nice boost. Mr. Campbell here was a fine player. All of our starters actually performed at a decent level. Duclaw wasn't that great, though. I just think his approach is always going to hurt us because, like, 26 homers sounds great, but I had three other players at 20 plus homers, and they didn't strike out like the majority of their at-bats. I still think Duclaw is good enough. I think he's going to be one of the first people to be moved, and we'll give another young first baseman a chance. Um, Nekulaisa is really getting disappointing. I don't know what to do about him. Like, maybe he just needs some time in the minors to figure out what he's doing, but he was not good this year. So I think we're going to have to make some moves there. Mare had a great season, though. Mare was a nice little acquisition and turned out to be pretty solid. Pitching-wise, Amakapane, Grishak, and Yanku were all fantastic. This is really exciting for me in particular because a lot is riding on Grishak's right arm. As long as he can be a top-tier pitcher, we're going to go very far every season. But that's amazing. I know Cabrera didn't start all that often, but when he did start, he's actually pretty decent. Dirac was pretty good, too. Jung was fine. I think our pitching staff was not the problem. However, this contract, this team's going to get awful expensive. Can I get a long-term deal for Grishak, or am I being silly again? I mean, can I afford not to do it? I don't think I can. I think we're going to go ahead and make this offer to keep Grishak. And who else do I really want to try to keep if I can? Like, nobody else is a definite must be kept. But I think Grishak is one of them. Oh, Overkirk. I'm going to try it. My owner's not going to be happy, but he'll live with it if I tell him to. Like, here's the thing. A catcher that's this good defensively and offensively is just not feasible to not keep. Right? Like, I have to do it. So that's who we're committing to. Urkirk and Grishak. And seeing where that takes us. For now, my friends, we're going to end today's episode. I hope you're enjoying it. Do let me know in the comments what you think about playing as the KBO for a few seasons. So really quickly, my plan would be to have the majors like in the game, but we'll be playing as the KBO, and we'll be like siphoning, tempting for our free agents, and seeing how they turn out in the KBO, as well as developing our own players. But yeah, that's my plan for the next Monday video. And this, like I said, I do want to play until we get that Hall of Famer if we can. Knowing that Amakapane might have it in the bag. In fact, I will say he has it in the bag. Means we're basically just looking at when he retires. So I think we will definitely try to do that. Some other players might make it too. I just think Amakapane has the right combination of both age and skill level. That I think he's a shoo-in for the Hall of Fame, and that'll be our homegrown Hall of Famer. Friends, Romans, countrymen, thank you very much for watching. If you've enjoyed the series, please remember to like it, comment, all the things. And until next time, my friends, this has been Guardian, and I bid you good day.